Welcome to Bias Bash. I'm Lauren Green. The controversy over Hillary Clinton's email activity while Secretary of State is garnering headlines nationwide. A story out by the New York Times only a few days ago is drawing new controversy over its take on Clinton's mishandling of emails. Here to explain is syndicated columnist and Fox News contributor Cal Thomas. Welcome, Cal.
Hi, Lauren. You know, media bias is most often reflected in three ways. One is what they choose to cover, example, a shark attack versus a cover-up by a government official. Two, the way they cover something, example, the story about mishandling of emails by former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, and the line that it is a non-story fueled by right-wing media and certain Republican politicians. And three, ignore the story altogether. Even supporters of all things Democrat, and of Hillary Clinton in particular, can no longer ignore Mrs. Clinton's use of a private email server that may have contained and revealed to hackers classified material in violation of the law. Kentucky Republican Senator and presidential candidate Rand Paul made that charge Sunday on the CBS program Face the Nation. An indication of their reluctance to cover this came yesterday on two ABC programs. Reporters on Good Morning America and This Week repeatedly complained that the issue of Mrs. Clinton's private emails, quote, won't go away. Gee, that's funny how they never said that about Watergate or any other real or imagined scandal involving a Republican. The New York Times, as you mentioned, which is as big a supporter of Mrs. Clinton and all Democrats as one might find in the media, published a story last week which said two inspectors general and the FBI had asked the Justice Department to open a criminal investigation into whether Mrs. Clinton mishandled sensitive government information. Apparently, someone in the Clinton camp got to the newspaper and persuaded them to change their lead. The new lead was about how the inspectors general and FBI have asked Justice to open a criminal investigation into whether sensitive government information was mishandled in connection with Mrs. Clinton's personal email account. Notice the subtle attempt to separate Mrs. Clinton from any possible lawbreaking. Maybe the Times got it wrong and maybe the Clinton people are right, but the story adds more weight to the public's view that Mrs. Clinton is dishonest and can't be trusted. Polls conducted by the media reflect this. Even liberal websites like the Daily Kos have picked up on the mishandled email story. The big media are being dragged into covering the dark side of the Clintons again. They're doing so with great reluctance, but the fact they are finally covering this story and will be forced to cover more hearings this fall on the Benghazi matter spell possible trouble for Mrs. Clinton, if not for her nomination, then for the general election. But with the public soured on politicians across the board, Lauren, more or less media coverage of their ethical problems may not in the end influence that many voters.
Now, speaking about those hearings, though, Hillary Clinton is set to testify before the House Select Committee on Benghazi, as you said, in October. Now, do you see this happening, or will it be postponed till after the 2016 presidential election? And if it does get postponed, how do you think the media will react?
Well, this is another one that the media wishes would go away. You hear a lot of commentators and even reporters saying that Mrs. Clinton and the State Department have answered all of the questions put to her. There's nothing that she's refused to answer. She got back to them on classified material, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that famous line, what difference does it make? Well, Trey Gowdy, the congressman from Texas who's been heading this up under the direction of House Speaker John Boehner, is a relentless prosecutor. And when he gets his claws into her, he may actually drag out some things or force her to cover up some things that she may not want revealed. So we'll see. She has committed to it. So, you know, unless she has some kind of medical issue or is out of the country, I think, you know, she's committed, so it should go ahead. We'll see, though.
All right. I thank you so much, Cal.
Thanks, Lauren.
If you want to hear more media analysis on this topic, catch Media Buzz with Howard Kurtz, Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern and again at 5 p.m. Eastern on the Fox News Channel. I'm Lauren Green, and thanks for watching.